Hello students, welcome to Easy Science YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to Easy Science YouTube channel and click the bell icon. You will never miss an update from my channel. So let's move on to the class today. Yesterday we have discussed about till stomach, right? Now what is the next part of the alimentary canal? After stomach, food enters into the small intestine. Small intestine. So this point is important point, children. Small intestine is largest part of the alimentary canal. Largest part of the alimentary canal. So the small intestine was divided into three parts. The first part is duodenum. Second part is Genium. And the last part is ileum. So you know duodenum is the first part of the small intestine. So the stomach last part is pyloric region. So the pyloric region will enters into the duodenum, and what happens inside the duodenum, let's discuss. Duodenum is known to be the first part of the small intestine. First part of the small intestine. The hepatopancreatic duct will opens into the duodenum. Here I am writing, children, it is hepatopancreatic duct will opens into the duodenum. See, what is this duct? The secretions from the liver will be enter into a duct called hepatic duct, and the secretions of the pancreas will enters into the pancreatic duct. These two ducts join and form a common duct known as hepatopancreatic duct, and this duct will opens into the duodenum. And the next part of the small intestine is Genium. The next part of the small intestine is Genium, and it is the largest part of the small intestine. It is the largest part of the small intestine. And this is the middle part, right? So in case of the small intestine, it is middle part, and Genium, the next part is ileum. So ileum will opens into the next part of the alimentary canal. You know what is the next part of the alimentary canal? It's large intestine. So this ileum will opens into the large intestine. It opens into the, see here I am writing, ileum will opens into cecum. It is the first part of the large intestine, and here this opening ileum and cecum. Ileum was opening into the cecum. This opening was guarded by a valve. It's not sphincter, children, it's a valve. The valve is ileocecum valve. And even one sphincter also present. But what is the function of the valve, children? Valve, anywhere in our body valve is present. Its function is to prevent the backward flow. So here also the same function it will do. This valve will prevent the backward flow of the fecal matter into the ileum. So this ends our small intestine. So what is the next part of the alimentary canal? After small intestine, inside the small intestine, the process of digestion completed. So the undigested food will enters into the large intestine. So after small intestine, large intestine is there. So what enters into the large intestine? That is important, children. So into the large intestine, the undigested food will enter. The undigested food will enters into the large intestine. Now, what happens inside? I mean, what is present inside the large intestine? Again, the large intestine was divided into three parts. One is cecum, second one is colon, and the third one is rectum. So the parts of the large intestine are cecum, colon and rectum. Again, it was divided into three parts. Cecum is known to be the first part of the large intestine. Ileum, which is the last part of the small intestine, it opens into the first part of the large intestine, that is cecum. Now, small intestine is known to be the largest part of the alimentary canal, but it has given the name small intestine, but for this intestine we have given large intestine. The reason is, name was given not depending upon the length, children. It is depending upon the width. Large intestine is wider when compared to the small intestine. That's why here it is large intestine, there it is small intestine. So cecum is a blind sac-like structure, children. It's a blind sac-like structure. So what is present inside this blind sac-like structure? Some bacteria are present. What bacteria are present? Symbiotic bacteria are present in this blind sac. Symbiotic bacteria are present inside the cecum. And what is the significance of the symbiotic bacteria? They help in synthesis of vitamins like vitamin B12 and vitamin K. And even this bacteria helps in maintaining the health of the alimentary canal also. And one more structure also present inside the cecum, children. There were some finger-like projections inside the cecum. There were some finger-like projections inside the cecum. And these finger-like projections are known as vermiform appendix. It's vermiform appendix. So it's a vestigial organ in our body, children. Appendix do not have any function in human beings. Due to evolution it came, but it doesn't have any function. It has a role in the digestive system of herbivorous animals. We don't have any role of appendix in our body, right? And this is one of the vestigial organ in case of the digestive system of human body. And one more vestigial organ also came in the digestive system only. That is, remember children, the third molar. Yes, the third molar. Premolars and molars is the third pair of molar is known as wisdom teeth. These teeth also do not have any function, children. These are also considered to be the vestigial organs. So in our digestive system we have two vestigial organs. One is the third pair of molar in the teeth, which we called it as wisdom teeth, and second one the vermiform appendix, which is present in the cecum of large intestine. So these two are vestigial organs. Vestigial organs means what? Which do not have any function. Due to evolution they came, but they don't have any function in our body. So we have discussed about cecum, and we know what is the next part of the large intestine, children. It is colon. So what happens or what is present inside the colon? Let's discuss. The cecum will enters or opens into the colon as three parts, as anterior, This is cecum, children. It opens into the colon as anterior, transverse, posterior, and sigmoid, and present. All these three are present behind the rectum. And what is present inside the colon? Colon has some bulged out structures, children. Some bulged structures called rostrum, and three longitudinal smooth muscles. Three longitudinal smooth muscles called tinea coli. Right. Now the colon will open to. So what is the next part of the large intestine? It is rectum. It is again a bag-like structure, children, where the undigested food will be stored for some time, and this rectum will opens into anal canal, and the anal canal will opens into the anus, and anus will be sent out, open to outside. That means this anal canal will opens to outside through anus, and this opening, children, anal canal was opened into anus, right? And this was guarded by two sphincters are present. One is internal sphincter and the second one is external sphincter. Internal sphincter and external sphincter. Internal sphincter is involuntary. We can't control that action, but external sphincter is under our control. So these are the parts of the large intestine. There is no significant role of digestion takes place inside the large intestine, children. But one thing happens is the undigested food materials was sent into the large intestine, right? So the excess amount of water present in the large intestine, in the undigested food, will be reabsorbed in this region. Some extra drugs, some minerals will be reabsorbed in this region. And one more thing, the wall of the large intestine continuously secrete mucus, children. So wall of the large intestine secrete mucus, which makes the tract from large intestine to anus slippery. Even the undigested food, that is the fecal matter, also becomes lubricated so that it will easily go to outside, and it will protect the tract from large intestine to anus. This mucus will protect. So this ends the parts of the alimentary canal. Now let's discuss about the histology of the alimentary canal. The next part we are discussing in today's class is the histology of the alimentary canal. Yes. The histology of alimentary canal. Histology of alimentary canal, let's discuss. So histology means the study of the tissue. So in this topic we learn about the layers which are present around the alimentary canal. So there are 4 different kinds of layers are present. 4 different kinds of layers. 4 different kinds of layers are present in the alimentary canal, which starts from, remember this children, it will start from where? The 4 different kinds of layers will start from esophagus and ends with the rectum. So, these layers will not be present in mouth, buccal cavity and pharynx. They start from esophagus and ends in the rectum. So, what are the 4 different kinds of layers present on the surface of the alimentary canal? The 4 different layers are serosa. First one is serosa. Second one is muscularis externa. Muscularis externa. Submucosa. Third one is, the third layer is submucosa. And finally the 4th one is mucosa. So these are the 4 different kinds of layers which are present around the alimentary canal. Let's discuss about each and every layer in today's class. Yes. Serosa. Serosa is known to be the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. It is known to be the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. Outermost layer of the alimentary canal, and it is lined by thin mesothelium. It is lined by thin mesothelium, and some amount of even connective tissue is also present inside the serosa. Connective tissue is also present in serosa. So this is the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. The next part. The next part is muscularis. The second layer which is present around the small intestine is muscularis externa. Muscularis externa. So, muscularis externa was made up of smooth muscles, children. It is made up of smooth muscles, and wherever this layer was present, it was arranged in the form of outer layer and inner layer, children. Outer layer is made up of longitudinal muscles. The outer layer is made up of longitudinal muscles, and the innermost layer was made up of circular muscles. And here the important point is this muscularis externa was present inside the stomach also. In case of the stomach, along with this external, outer layer and internal layer, there were middle muscle layers also present, like this obliquely they were present inside the stomach. Generally, muscularis externa was present in the form of outer layer and inner layer. But in case of the stomach, some muscle layers were arranged obliquely. This is present only in stomach, children. This is present only inside the stomach. Right. The next layer is submucosa. Submucosa was lined by thin connective tissue. Submucosa was lined by thin connective tissue. Thin connective tissue. And connective tissue means what are present? Nerves are present. blood vessels are present, and even lymph vessels are present. Yes. Now one more important point, children, here you have to remember is in the submucosa. The submucosa layer which was present inside the small intestine. Here this you have to remember, children. The submucosa layer which is present in small intestine. So what is present? It contains Brunner's glands. And this glands will secrete mucosa. So the submucosa layer which was present in the small intestine contains Brunner's gland which secrete mucosa. And the last layer is mucosa. The last layer of the alimentary canal is known as mucosa. This is the innermost layer, children, and when mucosa was present inside the stomach, see this you have to remember. The mucosa layer which is present inside the stomach has some folds, children. And what is present inside the folds? These folds contain some microscopic gastric glands are present. So inside the mucosa contains what, children? Gastric glands are present. You know, these are one of the digestive glands. And the mucosa present inside the small intestine also has some folds, children. Small intestine also has some folds. And these folds contain villi. The finger-like projections known as villi. The villi are lined by columnar epithelium. This is important point, children, and important objective also. It was lined by columnar epithelium. And this villi divided and gives rise to microvilli. Villi divides and gives rise to microvilli. This microvilli will give a brush border appearance. What they will give? The microvilli will give brush border appearance. That's why appearance. So that's why whenever what is lined by villi or lined by what means, we generally say the brush border columnar epithelium. Is there any significance, children, for this brush border columnar epithelium? Yes, there is a significance, because this brush border appearance will increases the area of absorption, because the digested food is absorbed into the blood in villi only. So this brush border appearance will increases the area of absorption. Increases the area of absorption. Right. Now, you know what villi contains. We already know the villi contains bunch of blood capillaries. Not only blood capillaries, children, along with the blood capillaries, lymph capillaries are also present. Lymph capillaries are also present, and these lymph capillaries are known as lactea. Now, this mucosa inside the stomach has a special cells, children. The mucosa layer present inside the stomach has special cells called goblet cells or goblet cells we call it as. And what is the significance of these cells? They will secrete mucus, because inside the stomach hydrochloric acid is liberated, which is a very strong acid. So it has to be, stomach has to be protected from its own acids. So the goblet cells which is present in the mucosa of stomach secrete mucus, which protects the stomach from the action of its own acids. And what is the function of the mucosa? Significance. What is the importance of mucosa? Mucosa was secreted from the walls of the alimentary canal in order to protect the walls of the alimentary canal are protected by their enzymes. And I said that the microvilli gives the brush border appearance, right? They will secrete an enzyme, children. The brush borders will secrete an enzyme known as disaccharide. So it is one type of carbohydrate, and this enzyme we call it as brush border enzyme. So what is the importance of mucus? Mucus protects the wall of the alimentary canal from the action of different enzymes. Even it makes the food wet and slippery, lubrication, so that food has to go to the, easily it can go to the next part of the alimentary canal. And this mucosa of the small intestine secretes crypts of Lieberkuhn at the base of villi. So this is about the histology of the alimentary canal. I hope you like the video. Please do subscribe to Easy Science YouTube channel and do share with your friends. Thank you.